Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is. It's morning here. I don't know if you can hear my voice. It's like so low right now. I can like sing like 3 whole steps lower in the morning. But anyway, it's morning here. I got some caffeine, so hopefully by the end of this, I will be way more energetic. But anyway, guys, John Mayer's new album, Sob Rock. I am so incredibly stoked for this. John Mayer is just such an incredible musician. His songwriting, his singing, his guitar, obviously, like he just has it all. He's amazing. And actually, fun side note, I actually saw him live after he released the last album, The Search for Everything. And I think maybe it was like one of the first live shows I've ever been to in my entire life where I'm like, play the new stuff because I like was obsessed with every single song on that album. So anyway, needless to say, he keeps reinventing himself and doing new things. I've heard that this album is described as both a parody and a homage to the 80s, so I am very excited about that. But before we dive right in, if you are new here, welcome, welcome. Mwah, I love you. Thank you so much for checking out this channel. My name is Dano. I am a singer-songwriter from Asbury Park, New Jersey, and the best way that I learned to write my own music is by listening to songwriters that do it really well and picking out some of the things that I love most about it and adding it to a library of ideas so that when I go to write my own music, I, have some things where I can pull from. But anyway, let's get right to it. Get yourself nice and cozy, get yourself something to drink or something to eat, and let's dive right in. The first song is called Last Train Home. This one was a single and I definitely have heard it before, but I didn't like really listen with a notebook or anything. All right, so I'm gonna do that now. Here we go. Oh yeah, yes 80s. I'm here for it. I am here for it. I love harmonies. Everyone that watches this channel knows, like, if there's a harmony, I'm like, I love that part. Oh, fade out ending. Oh my gosh, I'm here for it. That song was amazing. If this song sets the tone for the entire album, I will be very happy. So the first thing I want to mention is there was obviously some 80s vibes happening in there, especially with that 80s synth sound that was going on. It's actually, I feel like, kind of difficult to be able to mix eras and do it well, but it is a really great thing to do to come up with a new or different sound. And the 80s are big right now. Like The Weeknd, I feel like their last album was very 80s-esque. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I did want to talk about John's vocals because I think that he is an incredible singer. And one of the things that he does really well that I personally am working on is when he sings, he like doesn't sound like he's trying very hard. Like it's almost like it's like very relaxed. I don't want to say like a speaky tone, but it's just very relaxed and effortless. And it's not showy. Like he's not showing off. He's just singing well. And I think that as I write my own music, especially my own singing parts, I grew up in like the Christina Aguilera era. So like when I write my own melodies and singing parts, I'm always like, oh no, it has to do something like a really crazy here and showy, but also I can't sing that well. So it ends up like not working out for me. So I got to take some inspiration from John and just sing a beautiful melody, simply. And that's it. That's literally it. Another thing I wanted to mention is that I did love the little like guitar licks that John like threw out places in that song. And although I might not do exactly that for my own music because I write pop, it is really interesting to think about to have like those little fillers when there's kind of like a quiet spot. And it can be in pop music, it can be a synth part, it can be like a little melodic like ooh or something like that, but just putting like something a little filler, a little like do. Does that make any sense? Clearly, I need to have more coffee. Okay, my brain is just off right now. Okay, the last thing I want to say about this before moving on is we've got that classic fade out ending. I feel like I haven't heard songs end with the fade out in a while, but it is a very classic ending, and I think that they used to do that a lot in the 80s. So I'll have to double check that. Actually, maybe if one of you guys know, you can leave a comment if that's like an 80s thing with those fade out endings. But I always do try to pay attention to the intros and the outros when I'm listening to music, because sometimes like you'll have a song and it's almost done and you're like, how the frick do I end this song? So being able to have like a list of ending ideas that you can refer to is really great, when you're writing your own music. But anyway, let's move on to the next song. Up next, we got Shouldn't Matter, But It Does.
Should've just cried.
Obsessed with that piano. Ugh. That piano is gorgeous. Ugh. Oh my gosh. I'm like literally gonna cry. Another fade out ending. Oh my gosh. That song was so good. Holy cow. First of all, I was not expecting to get an acoustic guitar like that soon. Like, I did kind of peek ahead at the track list, and I feel like the last song on the album is probably going to be a ballad, but I was not expecting to kind of have a ballad-ish song like that so early in the album. And absolutely beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so the first thing I want to mention is that I felt like this song was a little more folky, and so it definitely had like some contrast from Last Train Home, but at the same time they did still have like that synth layer going on almost the entire time, so you do still kind of keep that 80s theme, even though the song didn't sound particularly 80s. Like, it just kind of had that like 80s synth element in it, so I thought that was really cool. Also, can we talk about that piano part? Like, that piano part just got to me, and like, it's simple. It is so simple. It's like a little plink, plink in just the right spaces, but it was the variation that we needed, because when you just have kind of like these guitar and this synth going, you kind of need like a little blink, blink to have some variation. Guys, I haven't had enough coffee. I'm not making any sense. But anyway, I just thought that that piano sound also was just gorgeous. Mwah! And speaking of simplicity, the lyrics were also incredibly simple, yet they told this beautiful story. And I know that John Mayer is a student of Pat Pattison, who is one of my favorite like educators on writing song lyrics. So I've read Pat Pattison's book, and one of the things that he talks about is making sure that all of your verses build on each other and the song kind of goes somewhere. And I think that John nailed that in the song by telling the story. And the last thing I wanted to talk about this was song structure. I think that sometimes in my own head, I get stuck on this like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, and like that's the way that you do a song. And so I like that this song has a little bit of a different structure. We get the classic beginning verse, chorus, but then we go into kind of like this instrumental section that I thought was really beautiful, and then we go back to another verse and then a chorus. And so like for me, I always feel like when I write my own music, I never even think about a verse 3. Like, I'm just like, no, it has to be a bridge, but you can literally just do another verse. And because you had that instrumental section, it did kind of break it up and give some like variation throughout the song. So it worked really nicely, and I really loved it. I will definitely be putting that one on some type of summer playlist for sure, and maybe be adding it to my playlist called Songs to Listen to When You Feel Like Shit, which already has a John Mayer song on there, but you know what? Maybe it needs more. I don't know. Anyway, up next we have New Light. Oh my god, you know what this sounds like? Hold on, right? Will you kiss me more? Can someone do a mashup, please, of this with Kiss Me More? Ooh. Is every song gonna have a fade out ending? Who's taking the over-under on that? Okay, yay, that was a good song. All right, so I don't really have too much to say about the song, to be honest, but I did like, there were some like little synth leads sprinkled in there, so that's a great way to kind of keep that 80s theme. I have a feeling that there will be a little bit of synth in all the rest of the songs on this album. Another thing I wanted to mention, there was a lot of repetition in this, which is really great for your listeners because then they can sing along by the end of it, and especially because John Mayer, like, I don't know, he's just like kind of like with his vibe, you can like jam out at one of his shows. Like, I don't know, the end sounded very jammy to me. Like they're just kind of like playing this one riff and singing the same thing and just like jamming out. And so yeah, I just thought that that was done pretty well in the song. And the last thing I want to mention is, even though I am not a drummer by any means at all, I have noticed that if you want to get a dancey sound, or at least some of the songs that I've noticed that are very dancey to me tend to have the kick on every beat. So it's like duh, 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 duh. And that vibe was going for the beat the entire time, and I think that's part of the reason it sounded kind of dancey. But anyway, that's all I have for this one. The next song is a great title called Why You No Love Me. Anyway, here we go. Ooh. Oh yeah, get it, John. Alright, so when I heard that this album was going to be both a parody and a homage to the 80s, I'm really getting some parody vibes with the lyrics in this one. But I also like low-key love how the lyrics are literally Why You No Love Me, because it's a little like funny, and I feel like it shows John Mayer's personality. And you know, that's important. Like, you should just show your personality through your music. And if you're like writing a song and you're like, why you no love me, then like put it in your song. Like, there are no rules in music, and I think that that's really cool. And I think that it was just nailed, honestly. Like, it was just perfect for this song. I also have to shout out my favorite lyrics in the song, which is, hurt me once, I let it be. Hurt me twice, you're dead to me. 3 times makes you family. Why is that so true? But the last thing I wanted to mention is that, again, we have a ton of repetition. Repetition is just the name of the game. It's a really great way to have your listeners be familiar with your song by the end of it, so that they can be singing along with your song the very first time that they listen. So I think that that was done really well in this song. All right, let's move right along. Up next, we have Wild Blue. Ooh, is that some organ? All right, dope. I think that this song vibes really nicely with the entire album, and Sob Rock is just the perfect name for this album, because like that is the total vibe. Like, it's all very chill. It's a little like emo, as far as the lyrics, not sonically. But yeah, I feel like this album would be great on the days you're just feeling like meh. This would be like the perfect soundtrack to those days. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Also, John Mayer keeping the guitar solos alive. I mean, we knew that that was going to happen. It already did happen on other songs, and you know, we'll probably hear it on more songs. It's like his thing, and I love it because you just like don't hear guitar solos very much anymore. And so John Mayer keeping it alive. I'm here for it. I love it. And I just wanted to say I really like the ending. It was kind of like jammy. They're just like kind of looping that chord progression, and John's like doing some little guitar licks over it, and of course we get the fade out. So I thought that was a really great way to end the song. And that is all I have to say about that. Up next we have Shot in the Dark. Oh my god, it starts so 80s. I do like how the piano like matches the rest of the instruments. I do love the harmonic rhythm. I want to talk about that. All right, another great song for this album. I do have to say I am obsessed with that like pingy, plucky piano part. It is just so simple and so good. I am going to challenge myself to put that in a song, and I promise you, if I do put it in a song, I will tell you about it. Another thing I wanted to mention is I absolutely love the harmonic rhythm in this song. So in case you're not familiar with harmonic rhythm, all it is the rhythm in which the chords change. So there's actually been research done on syncopation, which is basically when the accent doesn't fall on the downbeat. And so the research has shown that people are more likely to dance to songs that have a little bit of syncopation in them. So I'm just going to play this one quick example for you so you can see how the chords are changing on the upbeat. So super dope. I always have to remember when I am, you know, writing my own songs to throw in a little bit of a syncopated harmonic rhythm every now and then, just to switch it up a little bit. But anyway, the last thing I wanted to mention is we got another jammy fade out ending. I am here for it. It's very John Mayer. It's very Sob Rock. So yeah. Should I have a third cup of coffee? I'm back. I do also have water. And it has like, you know, one of the sayings on it. Apparently this is very chuggy. But you know what? I am chuggy. It is what it is. All right, what song were we on? Oh, that's right. Okay, up next we have I Guess I Just Feel Like. Ooh, I like this intro. I guess I just feel like nobody's honest. What happened? Get it! Oh my gosh, I feel like that song does an exceptional job at capturing a mood. I feel like I can feel John's mood when he wrote that song, and now I'm also in that mood. Like, how does he do that? That's insane. That's insane. So I really love how the song started off feeling very intimate. And I think that one of the ways that John was able to get that sound is it was just him and the acoustic guitar. So it was kind of like a stripped down section. And anytime that it's stripped down, there's like not a lot that you can hide behind. It does lead the song to sound more intimate, and then you pair that with some honest lyrics and bam, you've got like this beautiful feeling of intimacy. And I also loved that he had that just for a little bit right in the beginning, and then there were some other instruments added. I think like the bass comes in like the third line. And you know, the song sounds kind of full throughout, but then at the end, you go back to that stripped intimate section where you have the acoustic guitar and vocals. And so it was kind of nice returning to that in the end of the song. It kind of ties it all together. So yeah, I thought that was really, really well done. So I'm just gonna play some of the chords for you because I thought it was really beautiful how there was this feeling of tension and release and tension and release. And it wasn't like a hard, painful tension. It was just like a little bit of tension. And I think that that really also helped to kind of capture this mood where it's like, you don't feel like the world is ending, but it is kind of a little uncomfortable. Okay, ready? So this is starting. So you get like a little bit of tension there, and then it resolves. And it's not a lot of tension, just a little. But it makes you a little uncomfortable because you want to go back there. So I thought that the chords that John used were really perfect for this song. But that's all I have to say about this one. Up next we have Till the Right One Comes. Ooh, that has some nice contrast. So I don't really have anything too exciting to note about that song. I mean, I liked it. It's probably not like the most memorable one for me on this whole album, but I felt like it jived really nicely with the album, and it's definitely a Sob Rock song. But there are two quick things I wanted to mention. So I talk about contrast a lot in my channel, and I think that it's really important when you're writing music to make sure that there is some type of contrast, because if you have like the same thing happening from the beginning to the end, it's going to get really boring for your listener. And so there was one section in this song in particular where like I kind of felt like this song really needed some contrast, and then they put it in. So I just want to play that for you real quick. All right, so we've got this vibe going throughout the whole song, and then you know, it's so simple, but that like little shift makes such a difference. And that was a point where I just like started to pay attention again. So I really thought that that contrast was placed in just the right spot. Kind of along the same lines is one of the things that I struggle with as a songwriter is my transitions in between sections. And you know, honestly, that's something I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about, and something that I've like never really paid attention to in music, and maybe that's why I struggle writing them. So I'm making a promise to start paying more attention to transitions. But anyway, I thought that there was one transition in particular that I thought was really cool in the song, and it also, again, provided that contrast. So let's take a listen real quick. Okay, so here's the transition. Yes, oh my gosh. That was like perfect. That was perfect. Like it didn't feel like wasted space. There was something happening in that transition, so I thought that that was done really nicely. All right, up next we have Carry Me Away. Is anyone else getting like Phil Collins vibes? Ooh, yay! Oh, nice. I really like that one. I can't really tell you why, except for that I just like it. Okay, it just vibed with me. Was anyone else getting Phil Collins vibes in the beginning? Because I totally was. But something that I want to share is that the chorus was one line, it was "Carry Me Away," and it was repeated like a million times. And you know, I feel like sometimes as a songwriter, I'm scared of repetition. I'm scared that people are gonna think that like it's a cop-out for like not writing the rest of the lyrics. But at the end of the day, you want your listener to be able to sing along with your music. Well, I should say most musicians want that. I could see some styles where maybe that's not the case, but like, especially if you're writing pop music, like you want them to get it. And a great way to do that is by having repetition and just like having a simple line in the chorus and repeating it and just like jamming on that for a hot second. So I thought that that was done really, really well. Also, did you guys hear that pingy piano that I was like referencing in the other songs? It's back. I freaking love it. So when I write a song that has that in there, you'll know where I got that pingy piano idea from. But guys, I cannot believe it. We have one song left, but before we get to it, first, if you made it this far in the video, mwah, I freaking love you. You are literally the best. Come DM me on Instagram, say what's up, say hello, tell me that you came from YouTube. Let's connect so we can be friends and nerd out over music together. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I know that you hear that a million times, but it really does help this video see a wider audience, and I am so grateful to you for doing that. But anyway, for the very last song today, we have All I Want Is to Be With You, and I feel like it's probably gonna end up being a ballad or like a slow one, but I could be wrong. I don't know, let's see. Dude, it kind of has like a country western vibe. Ooh. Yes! Yay! That's the album! Oh my gosh. This was so good. I am definitely gonna be listening to this album again today. But anyway, wow, John Mayer doesn't disappoint, okay? So the first thing I want to mention is that this song has no chorus. It was literally 4 verses in a row. And that's really interesting for song structure. I can't remember the last time that I've heard a song that doesn't have a chorus. So John did a really good job of keeping it interesting and telling a story just through the verses, so cool. I do want to talk a little bit about the rhyme pattern. So it was a very simple rhyme pattern where we have these true rhymes. So you've got blue, you, deja vu, you, true, you. So anytime that you have like those perfect rhymes, the song will sound very stable and the lyrics will sound very stable. So the vibe that I was getting off of that is, all I want is to be with you. I'm very stable in that feeling. You know, there's no questions about it. That is the truth. So that feeling of being stable in that thought and that emotion definitely came through, even though it's not necessarily a pleasant one. Also, can we talk about that instrumental section that happened after verse 3? Because it was fire. It was so good. You know, I feel like you have to be a really good musician to pull off a good instrumental section to keep it like that exciting and keeping it engaging for your listeners, even when there's no like lyrics or singing happening. So that just shows John's musicianship. We all know that he's an incredible musician and artist. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that, I guess. I am also obsessed with the harmonies that were at the end. They were just killer, and you were just like jamming and vibing at the end all the way through the fade out outro, which was like a staple on this album. But anyway, very, very well done. John is incredible. I can't wait to see him live again. Just yay. But yeah, that was amazing. And seriously, I can't wait. I'm like about to get in my car in like 20 minutes and I am gonna re-listen to this again. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this album as well. So please feel free to leave it in the comments or DM me over at DanoLadyBeGood and tell me what you thought about it. Would love to chat with you about it. But other than that, that's all I got for you today. Remember, trust yourself, be yourself, love yourself. You got this. Mwah, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.